All right, I think we are back live. I deeply apologize for the incident that occurred earlier. But we're going to kind of let some people trickle in here, get some people back in here. Our internet went out, and I don't really know what happened in the previous last show, but we are back. I know it's 1:12 in the morning. I really don't know what else to do other than just come back and try to finish the show. Do us a favor, hit the like and share to all those groups. If you're on Facebook and to all those social media pages, you're watching us, listening to us on YouTube, like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Every episode is brought to you by our good friends over at FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com, as was the first show. This one is as well. So tell all your friends, tell everybody about it. We are back live. Our internet did go out. We will get this fixed. We will find a way to get this fixed. I promise. I don't really know what else to do, but I guess it's neither here nor there. But tell all your friends, tell everybody we're back. And I have absolutely no idea where we left off, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, we're here. We are here. This is where we are. All right, I see some comments flowing in. Let's get to a couple of comments as well. I have no idea what's happening on Facebook. But take this link, share it on Facebook, share it to all those groups. We greatly appreciate y'all doing that. If you haven't subscribed already, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. But we're going to let a couple people trickle back in. Not Flight says AYS best LSU content out there. Not when we don't have internet. We're not. Not when we didn't have internet. Sway says internet ruined an all-time great stream. You'll get bigger numbers in the future, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, because life just can't be simple, right? Life cannot be simple at all. We have to go through all this crazy stuff. Dabo got to you, says says somebody on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, we already had on YouTube 10,000 views on the first post game. Then our fucking internet went out, and so we're back. So to all those who sent in super chats, we have them written down. We'll try to get to them. You're just going to have to bear with me on this one. Jordan says, is it just me or did Garrett not throw a pick tonight? No, it's not just you. He didn't throw a pick. Look, we left off. I forget where we left off. I think it was the field goal. The field goal by LSU, that drive, the 8th possession. So, listen, I'm going to kind of recap what we've kind of been through here. What we've kind of been through already in the first stream, kind of getting to the second one here, is we were in a – and by the way, please, God, let our internet stay and work. Please. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much. But basically, LSU and Clemson trading shots here early. You got to the half 10-3. LSU, I thought, we talked about this a lot in the last stream. Thought you should have gone for the field goal there. You didn't. I didn't understand the play call. Your defense had 2 3-and-outs and an interception. You gave up 1 touchdown drive, and then the field goal, I mean, was only because Bowersharp fumbled the football and got them in the field goal range. They did nothing. I mean, that was technically a 3-and-out if you want to count that as well. So 3 of your first drives are 3-and-outs, or you have an interception. You're not really getting anything, and then you get the touchdown where they went on a long drive, but they had to go for it on 4th down twice, and they got it twice. The pick play on Mansour Delane, and then Adam Randall from the 2-yard line on 4th and goal was able to make it and get it in. So that's where we sit. So this is what we're going to do. Everybody hit the like and share. Tell all your friends that we're here. We greatly appreciate y'all being with us. We're going to pick up from there. So LSU from Mansour Delane has just gotten the interception. So we'll start from there. I'll get to some of these super chats since we have them here. So just a reminder. Frank Castle with a $2 super chat says a part 2. Blake is blessing us. I'm just trying to make a living. That's all. We're going to figure this out. If we got to go to Service Hawk every time to do this, we will not have this continue to go on. It just we won't. This won't continue to happen here. I promise you. I'll go to hell or high water before we have that happen again. All right. So in the first half, Mansour Delane comes down with the interception. Caden Durham has a backside run for 15. Nuss gets flushed. He hits Sharp on a check down. And then you have an RPO slant for about 6 to Aaron Anderson. So 3rd and 1 here coming out of the second half, or coming into the second half after the Delane pick. You have a 3rd and 1, and this is exactly where we left off. Garrett Nussmeier did something that I thought, we got Matthew Brune and Bryce Kuhn, our good friends over at On 3 in the show. Good to have y'all in here. Are y'all driving back home? What are y'all doing? We'll try to take some phone calls later on here. But Garrett did something when he was kind of checking it and then goes up to the line of scrimmage, gets the first down by the quarterback sneak. I thought was absolutely massive from Garrett, and something, again, that we just not really see them wanting to do or doing. That was a big play. Now, I know that this possession is not going to necessarily end in points for you. You're going to go for the field goal, and Ramos apparently is going to catch a cramp. And then you had the Barrion Brown touchdown that got reversed. But Garrett just felt like in the second half, after the quarterback sneak, that he was in full command, right? Complete and in full command here. Because after the sneak, you would have a zone read where Garrett doesn't keep it. He gives it to Juwan Johnson. And in that, not giving it to Juwan Johnson, you get a negative loss, TJ Parker on the stop. In that was the next play where they started walking down safeties for the first time. So I know that we talked about this, and I have a couple of pics of it. We'll probably share it on tomorrow's show when we do that. But nevertheless, they come out from too high into a one safety shell. And Barrion Brown is on the boundary, far right boundary. You have a fade route to Barrion Brown on the far right side of the end zone, far right front corner of the end zone. Guys, that should have been a touchdown. How they overturned that, how they overruled that, I have no idea. Okay? None. No clue how that got overturned. I guess because they thought it hit the ground, but it didn't move when it hit the ground. And I was under the assumption that if the ball hit the ground, if you have full firm control, it doesn't really matter. So even in that, I don't think that it necessarily mattered. What I thought absolutely mattered was that he came down with it, he got the catch, and it was a touchdown. But nevertheless, they overturn it for whatever reason, which is absolutely asinine to me that they overturned it, but they did. You should have been up at that given point. So you had tied it at 10. You got the Caden Durham run, touchdown run, and you should have gone up then. And then you missed the field goal. So you get the sneak, you get the zone read, you get the fade. Garrett almost does get picked here, and it's missed to Xavion Thomas, and then you miss the field goal. So, guys, even in some of these things, right, like even in some of these situations, I fully felt as if that we were in a situation here where you got a point in time where I thought you were about to really kind of start moving and getting extended. But it stays tied at 10, and you're unable to get anything going here. That is one hell of an overturn. I simply just do not know how you overturn that. I don't. But Barryon Brown, the rule is overturned. I don't know what happened to Ramos there. Holly Rowe came in over the telecast and said that he caught a cramp. It's a hell of a time to catch a cramp when you're on the sidelines doing nothing. Right? It was a beautiful throw by Garrett. Beautiful throw. And that whole drive, I felt like at that point, Garrett had solidified to everybody that he was in full control, complete full control. And they went man-to-man with a fast receiver on the outside, and they got burned. Guys, 9 times out of 10, and moving forward, that's going to get connected. That is going to get connected by Barryon Brown and Garrett Nussmeier. Far less corners are not going to be able to stop that. So that 8th possession, you get a good sneak, you get a first down, you have the fade, it got overturned, it sucks. You have an out route that goes incomplete, and then a 46-yard field goal that was no good. Kind of looked like it got blocked a little because on the telecast, you could hear a pop, pop. And so I was wondering if it got blocked at all. Luckily, it didn't go behind the line of scrimmage, went in front of the line of scrimmage. They don't get it because, God forbid, we know in these big games we've had kicks blocked, and there have just been issues with that. So unable to get points. You should have had points, but defense will come right around and get another 3 and out. 8th possession in the second half for your defense. Adam Randall gets a run for 6 to 7 yards. Cade Klubnik on a draw. West and Whit Weeks for a tackle for loss for a -1. Guys, the Weeks brothers played fantastically in the middle. They tried multiple times. This is now the 3rd time in the last show that we talked, and now in this one, as we're kind of recapping the show here. That was like the 3rd time that they had run a draw, and either West or Witt was right there to make a play and make a play in the backfield. I will continue to harp on this. If they don't make those plays, then we're in trouble there. We're in complete trouble there. But they did. And you kept sending the heat, and Klubnik could not get anything moving with his legs. I mean, it's just a beautiful play. So it lines up a 3rd and 5 for Cade Klubnik on a deep drag route. A.J. Halsey is able to get a PBU, and it's a 3 and out and a punt. Guys, A.J. Halsey was really good. I mean, the only thing I guess you could say that he got tripped up later in the game, I mean, the tight end drag where he had the big hit and the guy held on to it, I will take that 10 times out of 10. Let them make a play. Make them make a play. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to make a play. Well, let me not say 9 times out of 10. Let's just say 5 times out of 10, they might not make the play. But it was a really big catch. And A.J. Halsey comes in the second half and makes an outstanding play. I know Bryce Kuhn and seems like Brune is in the chat. I mean, that was a conversation during camp with the media. A.J. Halsey just made some good plays. Guys, how many 3 and outs does this defense have to get? Right? Like, how many 3 and outs did they have to get before we start? I mean, they dominated all camp. They did it tonight. They just keep dominating. It kind of makes me feel a lot better about your offense, to be honest with you, about how they weren't able to do a lot of things during fall camp. And tonight, LSU just went out there and shut down Clemson, completely shut them down. So there's another 3 and out. 9th possession for the Tigers, LSU Tigers, that is. A dive to the right side of the offensive line by Caden Durham goes for 8, and then a dive to the complete opposite side goes for 3. Guys, this offensive line was the biggest worry for me going into all camp, or coming out of all camp. They did not make the right play. They did not show in camp that they could run the football effectively, right? They kept running. There were some big runs by Caden Durham in camp, but it just felt like this defense, who, by the way, tonight held Clemson to only 31 yards rushing, that, guys, you just might have a really good team defensively. That's what it tells me right now. based off of what we've seen from August and based off what we saw tonight, you got to a situation where you're lining up and running the football. The biggest worry I had was that you would not be able to do that. Now, you didn't light the world on fire, right? Like, you still only had 108 yards rushing tonight on the game, but you held on to the football a lot. You had 37 minutes of time of possession. You held on to the football, and there were some situations like we talk about the 8th possession, the one we just got done talking about, a 15-yard run by Caden Durham. You go into the 9th possession offensively. You got an 8-yard run, a 3-yard run, 2 runs that's giving you a first down. It's a really, really big deal. You come back with Xavion Thomas on the 3rd play in this 9th possession where it's kind of dwindling down to the 4th quarter. And Xavion gets motioned back into the backfield again, and Wood-Ass tackles Xavion in the backfield for a -1. That's why when we were talking about in the past show before we got disconnected, they're going to have to use this Xavion motion in the backfield, hit a play action, and push the ball down the field, right? They're just going to have to push the ball down the field when that happens, because if teams are not going to respect that Xavion is only going to run the ball when they do that, you got to hit them on it. You got to hit them on it. But 2 really good runs, not a good one on the 3rd one. I will take it. They sold out for it. Trey'Dez Green on an in route. It is behind Trey'Dez Green. It was kind of more of the stick route, kind of in, and then he faded out. Garrett, I guess, thought that Green was going to settle in. I thought it was actually a bad drift by Green and a perfect decision by Garrett. Trey'Dez has just got to be a little bit more aware in the zone that Garrett's going to want him to stay, not fade in a zone. Don't fade into coverage. Sit there in coverage and let them come to you. So 2 really good runs, 2 really bad plays, a -1 and an incompletion that could have really been bad. So it leads you into a 3rd and 11. In route by Xavion Thomas and a pass interference by Clemson. I know Clemson fans and Dabo completely overreacted to this, saying, "Oh, that wasn't a pass interference." And I saw Koki Riley of the Advocate said, "Oh, hey, that's a very skeptical call." They showed on the telecast he's literally holding the jersey of Xavion Thomas, like he is pulling on the jersey of Xavion Thomas on the in route. So you can say that it was the SEC officiating crew because we have the footage of him literally being held. As soon as he's getting off the line of scrimmage, he breaks on an in route. He's being pulled. I see some people kind of talking about like the calls and the SEC giving LSU some favorable calls. How do you not call that PI? Like I know maybe from the booth it looked skeptical. From the TV version of things, it did not look skeptical at all. He got held. So a 3rd and 11, a big break for LSU here on that pass interference that leads to a first down. Chris Hilton would then have a false start. Chris just had a bad game, man. He had a very, very bad game, and I hate it for him. It's not great. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But if you don't know the plays and you're going to fumble the football and you're not going to get lined up correctly, then you're just not going to play. I love him to death, but it is the truth. You cannot have these. You got to control the things that you can control. Now, Chris Hilton, even with the false start, the fumble, and BK chewing on him again tonight, I mean, he's going to have to play some form of role for your season to get where you want to go. He just is. So whether it is you being in a situation where you can only use him in certain situations and he's going to run verticals, I don't know what else to say here. I legitimately don't. But the only thing I will say is you cannot have those mistakes because there's a lot of guys in that room that will play over you if you continue to make them. But a false start by Chris Hilton. A motion into a diamond formation to the left is a screen to Barryon Brown. They ran this a couple of times in the second half that goes for about 4 or 5. Next play is an Aaron Anderson slant route that goes for 12 yards, and the Tigers are starting to move a little bit here. That would be the end of the third quarter, and we move into the fourth. So the ninth possession continued here. A drag route by Trey'Daz Green. Beautiful throw and beautiful decision by Garrett Nussmeier. It was something in our keys to victory this week on Thursday in the conversation that you and I had about Trey'Daz Green. Our conversation on Thursday was a very simple one. The conversation was, I don't think these safeties are good at all, and if you're going to put a linebacker on Trey'Daz Green, he's going to outrun him. This time, Wade Woodaz, again on Trey'Daz Green, is just on a simple drag route, unable to stay with him. And, guys, it goes for 9 yards. You got to take those kinds of throws. These deep shots are going to hit at some point because teams are going to have to play up. It's just, again, elite. Not good, not great. Elite decision-making by Garrett Nussmeier. So the ninth possession continues, and a really, really good play on first down. 2nd and 1, Durham on an inside dive goes for no gain. Looks like Peter Woods was in on the stop that leads to third down. Garrett Nussmeier goes under center for a quarterback sneak that gets a first down. Garrett doing everything humanly possible to win this game. Everything humanly possible. Just good stuff, man. Just absolutely good stuff. When Garrett is put in these very beneficial situations and you're spreading teams out and he just goes and does a quarterback sneak, hey, if y'all are going to play 2-3 techs outside the guard and you're going to leave the middle wide open, I'm going to sneak it. I'm going to sneak it. And he did. Just absolutely freaking beautiful. 1st and goal, inside zone to the left. We're going to have to stop running the ball to the left and inside zone. Paul's just getting out physical. Goes for 2 by Caden Durham. And 2nd and goal, diamond formation right. Trey'Daz Green on the far left boundary by himself. And a fade route into the end zone for a touchdown. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He's a mismatch in the red zone, man. He's just a mismatch. Make sure my internet's still working here. It's not looking like we're having thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat if you got me. Thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. This fucking internet. All right, y'all got me? All right. We're going to figure this out, guys. Trust me, I don't have a choice. It's my living. I don't have a choice. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. All right, cool. No, not Cox, Spectrum. I mean, this is the 5th outage in 10 days. So I listen, if any of you know how to do Starlink or get me set up with Starlink, let me know. Please, dear God, let me know. I don't even know how to install it. I mean, I might just have to go to a backup here and just pray to God everything works. Or just go get another studio, really. But all right, let's get back to it. Fade route to Trey'Daz Green in the back of the end zone, or fade route into the end zone, goes for a touchdown. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, listen, man, if you can do that with Trey'Daz Green, there's not going to be a lot of people that can guard him. I mean, I can easily see him getting anywhere between 6 being the bare minimum to 10 receiving touchdowns on the season. I mean, it's just you you match up with teams in such a difficult way because you got speed and then you got that level of physicality. So, I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, guys, listen, this is what I'd say. I thought over the last couple of years, it was Jimmy's and Joe's of why you were getting beat. And now you have the Jimmy's and Joe's. And Trey'Dez Green is one of those. And there's nothing you could do about it. Beautiful drive by Garrett, beautiful decision making, and you got some big runs in there. Some big runs that sparked you to get this thing moving. All right, ninth possession for the defense. This was the one that I thought critically turned the game and for you to win here. Ninth possession, Weeks on a pressure and gets to Cade Klubnik, and he throws it away. I thought it was grounding. I legitimately thought it was grounding. I don't know how it didn't get called. They said that there was a receiver in the area. The bullshit, there was a receiver in the area. Bullshit, there was a receiver in the area. I didn't see one. But Weeks gets a pressure. I thought you should have gotten the grounding, but you don't. And you go from there. A screen to Moore on the outside goes for 6. Harold Perkins from the star roll makes the stop. 3rd and 4. Klubnik is flushed. Randall on a check down goes for 6 and a first down. Mansour Delane got a little bit of a cramp on the play, and he left out. Petcombe, the tight end on a drag route, goes for 20 yards. A.J. Halsey looks like, you could see on the TV copy that him and the tight end's feet get tangled up and he falls down. Guys, I don't know what else to say about that, really. It's just going to happen. You got to keep your feet. I get it. But he gets tripped up. Like, he didn't have AJ's second half on the one mistake he did have. Guys were warmed up and they had already had a half, and this is first half of the season, and he kind of gets tripped up, and Clemson tight end makes a play, and you're unable to be there. And it is what it is. Goes for a big gain, but you're able to rally and get him out after 20. So a massive play for them there. Guys, sometimes teams are just going to make plays, and things are just going to happen. More on a screen to the right. PJ Woodland comes in and makes a stop for a gain of 2. Check down. Number 11. I don't know who number 11 was, but they had a check down to number 11 that goes for 2 yards. West Weeks in on the stop that would force a 3rd and 5. They try to run a quarterback power, and Jack Pyburn comes down and blows it up. Whit Weeks is there to make the stop on Cade Klubnik. Listen, man, I told you in the previous stream, and I want to do this again. I'm really encouraged by what I saw at the edge. I have been all camp, and I would love to know the snap counts for all the guys at edge. How many reps, how many plays did all of them play? Because it felt like that Relaford, Butler, Payton, and Pyburn, they just rotated in so much. Last year, LSU had a massive issue defensively. That massive issue was that quarterbacks just ran all over you. The physicality that Jack Pyburn on the power run by Cade Klubnik in the second half, in the fourth quarter, Pyburn coming up and blowing it up ends the play. Pyburn didn't make like these spectacular plays like tackles for loss or whatever. His physicality completely set the tone. So, again, not making the star-studded plays like the Harold Perkins of the world, whatever, but he just legitimately, by his addition and his signing, comes down and makes a play. Offensive lineman pulls, tries to take him on. He blows him up. Klubnik gets pushed to the right and gets pushed laterally, and Weeks is just there to run him down and make the play. I mean, guys, you haven't – the thing about your run game a season ago was not necessarily that schematically that you had a lot of issues. You just got pushed around. And when you can bring that level of physicality and blow them up at the point of attack, they're not going to have many answers for it. And they're not going to want to do it much more, right? Like they're not going to want to do that over and over and over again. They're going to want to – it's going to break them. And I thought Pyburn, which I don't know the numbers on this, I think Pyburn played the most. But even in Pyburn playing the most – I mean, he just made a lot of really, really good additions in the run game, and they go for it on 3rd and 5, and they're unable to make the play there, right? They're unable to make the play. Weeks coming down and making the play is massive, and you go from there. So it leads to a 4th and 5. Timeout by LSU. Mansour Delane ran on the field late, and LSU saw that he was out of position and called a timeout. That timeout by Brian Kelly was massive. Let's bring this up. In the 4th quarter, LSU is up in the 9th defensive possession. You're up by 7. Trey Green had just gone down and caught the fade route for a touchdown. You're kind of taking shots back one another, back and forth. Mansour Delane goes down earlier in the drive, as we had discussed. A 4th and 5, he goes down with a cramp. He comes back in. Brian Kelly's timeout was critical. Critical. Because Mansour Delane is out of position and they're going right at it. Going right at it. The reason I know is they came right back to the same slant. And in that same slant that they ran on Mansour Delane, he was able to break it up. And you got a turnover on downs. Guys, he is by far the best corner that Brian Kelly has had at LSU. By far. Like it's just not remotely close. He made play after play after play after play all night long. All night long. And so I thought that they would attack PJ Woodland more, but they didn't. They went after Mansour Delane and it bit him in the ass. Considering that Mansour Delane played the entire rest of the game, I would just consider it's a cramp. Doesn't look like anything was serious there other than that. So you get another massive stop by your defense here. And again, outside of one drive and a field goal that they should have never been in for, you make the plays and you get them off the field. 10 possession. God, you should have scored a touchdown here. God, you should have scored a touchdown here, but you don't. This was the possession to start ending the game that LSU ran that diamond formation to the left and kept throwing the ball to Juwan Johnson. Durham on the first play gets a zone for 2 yards behind Jordan Thompson. They make a stop, but you go diamond left. Juwan Johnson catches a screen for 10 yards. You run the same exact play. He gets 7 yards. And then they run the play again, and he gets 4 yards. Clemson, for whatever reason, did not get numbers out there on the boundary for that Juwan Johnson diamond run, their diamond screen. All of that being said, I would have just kept running it. I would have just kept running it. You're not going to put people over there. We're going to keep doing it. They flipped the screen to the opposite side, and they ran one to Berrien Brown that went for -7. You just can't take critical losses like that. Because you could have gone and put this game away. You could have easily went and put it away. It just stinks, man. It really stinks. But that killed your drive there. That screen to Berrien Brown that went for -7. Durham on an outside zone run goes for 5, sets up a 3rd and 12, and Berrien Brown with a motion out to Caden Durham would hit a screen to the right that goes for 7 yards. God, I thought you could have put it away there. It would have been ball game. It would have been ball game. But because you were moving the football, but that critical screen, I mean, just keeps you out of. Well, it could have kept you out of field goal range, but it certainly keeps you out of scoring that drive. A punt by Chadwick that should have been down at the 2. PJ Woodland missed it around the 2 to 3 yard line. It bounced in the end zone. He catches that. It's down at the 2. You did some really good things in special teams tonight. Chadwick having the punt to the 2 that should have been called by Woodland should have been one of them. Because God bless Almighty. God knows they couldn't move the football. Couldn't move the football at all. 10 possession for the defense. Weeks, pressure incoming, and Klubnik kind of throws it away. It's incomplete. Wesco fade on PJ Woodland is dropped. Wesco had a step on Woodland, but he kept battling, and Wesco is unable on an inside slide fade to be able to make the catch, and it is dropped. 3rd and 10, you got a false start by the offensive line, which brings up a 3rd and 15 because you just kept making plays over and over again. Klubnik was rattled at this point. 3rd and 15, he hits Randall on a check down. Harold Perkins comes up and makes a massive stop and a big hit on Adam Randall, and it leads to a 4th down, which they would lead to punt. Just beautiful, dude. I don't know what else to say. Maybe you could say that they just didn't make the play. You put the pressure on them, and they couldn't make it. Wesco probably should have caught that fade route. But you kept sending pressure all night, and it kept getting home. You know what's crazy is that we made so much about this offensive line for LSU that the offensive line really for Clemson was the one that got their shit pushed in, really and truthfully. So all in all, man, just another drive where you're going 3 and out. What is that? 5 3 and outs? So no, 6. Yeah, 6. Of 10 possessions, you had 6 3 and outs defensively to this point. That's utterly insane. And it should have been 7, but I don't know if you can consider the field goal technically a 3 and out. Maybe you can. And if so, you had 7 of your 10 possessions end in 3 and outs. And then the other one was one was a field goal that they shouldn't have been in field goal range. The other was a Mansour Delane interception. And the other one, they scored a touchdown. So really 9 of the 10 possessions to start the game and throughout the game until the last possession of the game. You have Clemson getting a field goal because Bauer Sharp fumbles. They get 1 touchdown drive where they got to go for it on multiple downs or multiple 4th downs. They're able to get it and go in and score. Sounds good. But you have everything else is defensive related, right? You have the Mansour Delane interception, and then, guys, you have 6 3 and outs after that. I don't know how much more dominant you can be defensively than what we saw LSU's defense last night. Because, okay, they have 1 scoring drive. They have to kick a field goal because you fumble, and it gets them in field goal range. You have an interception. Well, that's a plus for you for Mansour Delane. And all the other ones are 3 and outs. You had 11 total possessions defensively. 11. The other one, they would move the football, which you would get a stop on 4th down. So you just get to a spot where I don't know how else you clarify this for LSU defensively other than pure dominance. I look at Clemson, and I look at them statistically. Okay? The stats bear it out. They had 22 minutes of time of possession. You had both about the same. You had both same amount of penalties, about the same amount of penalty yardage. You ran the ball for 108 yards. They ran the ball for 31. Klubnik went 19 of 38 for 230 yards. And you went for 246. Every single area you beat them in. You had more first downs than them. You were better on 3rd down than them. Technically, they were better than you on 4th down. That's about it. You had more total yards. You had more completions. You had a better yards per pass. You had a better yards per rush. You had you generated more turnovers than they did. And by the way, they went for it multiple times on fourth down that they didn't get it. So really, you have the 2 turnovers, okay, and then the turnover on downs. It's pure dominance, y'all. Pure dominance. So as we I know the last show wilted out, nothing I can do about it, and we bring all of this in. Guys, that is as dominant as I've seen this LSU defense in quite some time. Like, when you think of LSU football and you think of them defensively, that's what you think about. The question you start asking is, well, did you hit on Jack Pyburn? Pretty so. Patrick Payton, the first 2 defensive drives, made the 2 biggest plays of the drives. A.J. Halsey, well, you only saw a half, but shit, that looks good. And then Mansour Delane. And I thought Bernard Gooden played well. And Wes Weeks is a transfer, by the way. I guess we forget about that. I guess we just we continue to forget about that kind of stuff. So, all in all, man, just an outright display of pure dominance. Let's get to the last LSU offensive possession before we end the game here. Sharp on a middle screen goes for a negative run. Durham on an inside zone run for no gain. Brings up 3rd and 11. Durham on a check down goes for 3. Guys, you just played it. You played it conservatively. Massively conservative. Hey, man, they can't move the ball. And to be honest with you, why wouldn't you? Now, in that situation, I kind of wish they would have been a little bit more aggressive to go put it away, but they didn't. I understand it, right? Like, I understand what Brian Kelly is telling me here, right? Like, I understand what he's saying in the sense of, I mean, I just get not wanting to risk anything because your defense has been that dominant. Why would you? Why would you? I mean, it makes no sense. Check it down, punt the ball, and let's go play defense. And it's exactly what you did. All right, let's wrap the game up here. We'll get to Super Chats. I will try to go to the other Super Chats and read them off if I can. If I can here. But last possession. Defense on 11th possession. Parker on a hitch route is missed badly by Cade Klubnik. Badly. Almost got picked. 33 hits Parker. Oh, no, excuse me. 33 on a blitz. West Weeks on a blitz. Hits Cade Klubnik, but it's a really good throw by Klubnik. And it's an out route to Parker, or excuse me, Moore. I don't know why I keep saying Parker. To Moore that goes for 14. So a really, really good big chunk play here. Trying to see if I can get back in the chat from the other one. All right, let's just end it here. Weeks hits Klubnik, out route Moore for 14. Brown on an out route, it is missed. Or no, excuse me. Brown on an out route, 0 miss. Cooley missed the tackle, and he goes up the sidelines for 17. Can't have that, man. Can't have that. I hate it for him, but you kind of can't have that. Kind of can't have that. You kind of need to get in there and make the play. I thought Cooley played fine, though. Really. I think Cooley played fine. Yeah, I think he played fine. I got the other Super Chats. We'll get to those other Super Chats here in just a moment. 87 on a leak. The tight end on a leak goes for 3 yards. A.J. Halsey on the stop. Randall in the flat, the running back in the flat that goes for 4, brings up 3rd and 4. Wesco on a slant goes for 11 to get goes for 11. No, excuse me. Oh, man, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm messing up. Wesco on 3rd and 4 goes for a slant, a PBU by PJ Woodland. I'm writing 11 because it's a PBU. Really good play. Again, just continuously making plays is PJ Woodland here. So it leads up to a 4th and 4. LSU calls a timeout, and they send pressure, and they end the night as you would get a PBU by Mansour Delane to end it. All in all, an absolutely fantastic night. The worst thing that happened of the night, the 2 worst things that happened on the night are very simple for me. My internet went out, and you should have gotten points before the half. That's the worst thing that could have happened here. So all in all, a really, really good night. Defensively did great. Jordan says with a $5 super chat, is it just me or did Garrett not throw a pick tonight? No, he didn't throw a pick. Not just you. You didn't drink, believe it. We're sober, and he didn't throw a pick. Look, man, I thought Garrett looked fantastic. I thought Garrett looked absolutely fantastic. Frank Castle says, a $2 super chat says, a part 2, Blake is blessing us. Man, I'm trying. I don't know, Frank, what else to do. I'm trying my best here. But it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and we're still live, and the other show shit out, and I don't know what to really do here. Jordan Acosta with a $5 super chat says, Blake, it's not just you, my friend. Our internet has been tripping since Monday. The guys played lights out tonight. Go Tigers. Yeah, well, I'm glad it's not me, and I'm glad that y'all have given me some grace here. A lot of you have given me a lot of grace. I greatly appreciate that because that kind of stuff really, really bothers me. But in reference to your super chat, yes, defensively, you played lights out. I think there's a lot of things offensively that you got to clean up. A lot of things offensively, you got to clean up. Need to run the ball a little bit better. I still think that Florida in the interior of their defensive line is better than what you're going to see tonight. As I have warned you, I think Caleb Banks is by far better than Peter Woods. And I think anybody saying that Caleb Banks is not better than Peter Woods is smoking meth. That's what I think. Doug Nose says Blake Baker with JD5 wins the natty. Frick. Well, especially with this defense, probably. Especially with this defense. Ray with a couple $99 or 99-cent super chats. He sends a $1.99 one and then sends a $5 one. So thank you for all of the super chats. He says Florida is about to face a awoken Death Valley. Yeah, that place is going to be popping. Probably game day will be in town. I mean, it's a massive rivalry game. I think Florida is much more talented than people want to give them credit for. I think they're a really good team. And they come into Death Valley in a couple of weeks. In not next week, but the week after. So it's going to be a massive game for you. Absolutely massive game for you. G. McGehee, Z, says, how about with a $2 super chat, how about that motherfucking defense, baby? Played fantastic. Played absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else you can ask for him, really. I mean, I'm to a point where mark this down. I mean, I'm to a point where, guys, I mean, so this is what I'm trying to write this out at 2 a.m. in the morning. Now I don't have a pen that works because, of course, I don't. Guys, I guess the question you would ask moving forward is if this defense will continue to show what they did tonight. And I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. Let's take what we've seen, heard, talked about in the last month. We've been out there for 14 practices. In those 14 practices, this same defense that dominated Clemson tonight did the same thing to your offense. I mean, guys, again, that was basically the entire practice reports every day we were out there. You want to be cautious when you feel like you're seeing something special. Like, man, this offense might not get things going. And I think that this defense really sharpened some iron with how well you did run the football tonight. Again, you need to run the football more effectively. I mean, there were some plays there that you just got to get back. You got to get back. You got to clean some things up offensively along the offensive line. But, guys, they've been dominant. They were dominant in spring. They were dominant in fall camp. And then tonight they ran out there and showed like, hey, man, this isn't Fugazi. This LSU defense is back. They dominated from start to finish. They pushed around that Clemson offensive line. They sent pressure at him all night. Klubnik was uncomfortable in a lot of positions because they should not have gotten the 3 points that they did because you shot yourself in the foot. They put one really good drive together. They have to go for it multiple times on fourth down. Other than that, you got a turnover on downs to end the game. You have 6 3-and-outs. You have a Mansour delaying interception, and there's your 11. So a field goal, a touchdown. You have 6 3-and-outs. 6-3. No, so you have the field goal, the touchdown. You have 6 3-and-outs and a couple meaningless drives. Did they pick up a first down, then they punt? I mean, we go to their right out of half. They get the ball coming out of halftime. They move the ball down there a little bit. Perkins is spying K. Klubnik. He forces the pressure. They kick a 42-yard field goal. They miss it. So, all in all, if you don't make the mistake from Bauer Sharp in the fumble, sure, okay, they hit that field goal. They could get 10 points. They missed it. I mean, but damn, dude, in the second half, you just went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Really. You went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You got the interception. I mean, let's look at the second half really quickly. Third quarter, they missed a field goal. You got the interception. They had a 3-and-out. They had a turnover on downs in the fourth quarter, a punt, and then another 3-and-out, and then the last possession of the game. Just absolutely freaking dominant, dude. Absolutely dominant. Marvin Guest, 7342 on YouTube with a $5 super chat says, look, LSU looked really good overall. The only other team I would say that looked good would be Auburn. Would you say the same? No, I don't think Auburn played a good opponent, and I don't think they can throw the football as effectively as you. I'm not going to overreact to week one. I know Bama got their shit pushed in. That's what I know. You feel very comfortable rolling into Alabama and winning. Now, how do you respond versus guys, we got a long way to go. Don't mess around with Louisiana Tech. Then you got Florida coming into town, and I would assume it's going to be game day at night. At night. So, no. I mean, I didn't see a lot of other teams. I don't think Texas is going to be as bad as they were today. I don't think Ohio State's going to be as bad offensively as they were today. Everybody wants to shit on Arch. Everybody wants to shit on this or shit on that. I mean, Kirby played with his food. after they got up, what was it, 28-0? I mean, guys, they ran the ball. I was watching their game. They ran the ball like 17 straight times. They didn't give a shit. So, I mean, I will say this. Go watch that Georgia Marshall game and Blake, Marshall. I don't give a shit. Go look at how big they are in their front seven. Kirby got a squad again, dog. He got a squad again. I wouldn't say that. Let's see some of these other teams play some big games. SLU Lions 07 gives a $5 super chat. Says, I won some money tonight, Blake. So I'm supporting the best LSU postgame host. Go Tigers. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. It's been a rough night for your boy. Very rough night for your boy. Wish the first show could have been done and over with, and we could have taken some phone calls, and I could be in bed laying down rewatching the game right now, but I can't. But thank you. If you all want to rally together and buy me the equipment for Starlink, I'd praise the ground you walk on. Somebody that's got a lot of money that likes the show, donate, invest into the show and buy me some Starlink because I'm broke. Cajun Curveball with a $5. I mean, I'm not broke. I'm just saying. Please. Cajun Curveball with a $5 super chat says, thank you, Brian. Nothing negative. Defense looked like the late 2000s, early 2010s. I'm excited. Looked solid. Look, you got to clean a lot of things up offensively. You just do. You couldn't get vertical the way that you need to get vertical. And teams now, if you're going to show that you can't get vertical, which I guess you can technically, you got a fade route to Tradez. Some of them didn't hit, and then the Barry and Brown touchdown that got reversed. I mean, I guess technically you did get vertical some that didn't benefit in your favor. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Be more effective. I cannot believe we won a game one. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Legitimately. Just absolutely insane. All right, I'm not taking phone calls. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah. Mike Gidder says, O-line, shut up the haters. Yeah, I mean, they gave up one sack, and they ran the football effectively enough. They sure did. And listen, to Mike's point here, I mean, guys, now you gotta take it for what we're seeing. I mean, us going out there and talking about what we saw at camp, and then going back in here, going back into the situation, now it just looks like that you just faced off every day against a really freaking good defense. You need to run the football a little bit more consistently. Let's go through some of these things here. And I still got those other super chats I need to read. Let's see. Caden Durham, 17 carries for 74 yards, 4 yards a carry. Xavier Thomas, 3 for 26. Jawan, 3 for 8. Garrett, 4 for 2. And, man, that Garrett zone read pull was saved it. It did some stuff. Harlem, 1 for 1. Caleb Jackson, 1 for -1. 31 for 108. Need to get that a little bit better. Cajun Curveball says Tradez is Jimmy Graham, hold my beer. Might be more athletic than him. I mean, if we're just going to be honest, he might be a little bit more athletic than him. I mean, if we're just going to call a spade a spade. Might be a little bit more athletic than him. And that's a big statement. But Tradez Green's a hell of an athlete, man. Hell of an athlete. Okay, I don't know how to bring these other I guess I don't think I could share my screen. Frank Castle with a $10 super chat says the real Death Valley, this is the first stream, sends a $10 super chat, says the real Death Valley decapitated you, took the body and left the Temu Tigers head with the Dean line and the home field advantage. I want to thank Clemson for the $150K 24-10 LSU. We all saw it. Yeah, I guess you technically could clarify it as a 24-10 win. That shouldn't have been overturned. C.R. Kelly, 91 with a $20 super chat says, where is Peter Woods? Blake, have you seen all-world Peter Woods? Was he out there? I was told he was unstoppable. He didn't make a lot of plays tonight, if at all. If at all. I mean, he was not out there in the second half for a lot of it. I don't know if he got hurt or if he's not conditioned, but I mean, he did not have a great night at all. At all. That interior offensive line held up. Otis on YouTube says TJ Who, Peter Who with a $5 super chat. Yeah, I mean, guys, they were pretty much non-factors all night. Pretty much non-factors all night. You took it to him, man. You took it to him. A $5 super chat by M. Nelson on the first stream says the real Tigers, the real Death Valley, go LSU. By the way, does LSU, speaking of all this and the Death Valley stuff, does LSU have to pay money now for storming someone else's field? How does that work? I don't know. Broad 337 with a $10 super chat says two things, Blake. Perk rushing the quarterback and good things happen. Coincidence? Probably not. For the love of God, stop pulling Adams on runs. He doesn't block well on the perimeter. Hashtag God bless Baker. Yeah, I mean, they try to put him on some screens too. Just didn't work to that side well. I didn't mind the screen game. I thought the screen game to Aaron was really effective. But other than that, it did not have its perks at all. Did not have its perks at all. All right, we got a couple of super chats back in the normal. Jace Mack says, Blake, everyone is being very critical of Hilton, but I felt like he got subbed away too much. He couldn't get in rhythm. I felt like you're the best, brother. Thank you, Jace Max. Yeah, you just gotta continue to make you got to continue to make plays. I mean, if they're going to rotate you in and out of there, you got to make plays. I hate it for him. Lamar on the old stream with $100 super chat. Lamar, I appreciate you. Maybe I can buy some Starlink with that. He says, I've been a fan of the show for years, but it's really helped me get through this deployment. Stayed up all night to watch the game, and, man, the defense is finally a joy to watch. Thanks for everything you do, Blake. Well, Lamar, I'm sorry that the old stream crapped out. First off, thank you for serving our country. I should be giving you $100 in a thank you. You do something way more important than I ever could, and that is serving our great country. Thank you for your deployment. Thank you for everything that you do. But $100 super chat on the old stream. Thank you, my man. Lamar, if you ever get to Baton Rouge, hit me up, brother. Hit me up. Lunch is on me. Lunch is on me. I greatly appreciate that. You have no idea. You have no idea. But stayed up all night to watch it. And yes, the defense did not disappoint you, Lamar. It just did not disappoint you, man. They absolutely dominated. Bingle on YouTube says, great podcast. Keep them coming. We're going to try if this internet doesn't shit its pants. CNB, but thank you for the super chat, the $2 super chat. Thank you. We're going to try to keep them coming. CNB says, as always, LSU Prevalia. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that other than hell yeah. You are correct. You are correct. Andy Alexander on the old stream says, biggest stat of the night, 0 INTs and over 100 yards rushing, without a doubt. 100% without a doubt. Nug9 says, I don't scratch my head unless it itches, and I don't dance unless I hear music, and I will not be intimidated. Coach Boone, Tigers are 1-0. 1,000%, my guy. 1,000%. Christian Wheeler, an FKT alum himself with a $20 super chat, says offensive line did very well. There are some things that need to be cleaned up offensively, but my God, how about that damn defense? Parker's a beast. AJ came out and got revenge, and our DBs were making huge plays. It's a perfect way to summarize it, Christian. Absolutely perfect way to summarize that. Without a doubt. I mean, they just played lights out. Lights out. And your offensive line held up enough. Leighton Linder with a $10 super chat says it's the biggest weight lifted off of our shoulders a whole season ahead of LSU. But to end the week one streak versus a top 10 team on the road is a confidence booster. Go Tigers. I'm happy, brother Blake. Me too, man. Me too. It's just you finally got that monkey off your back and you can look forward and you build the confidence. You put a lot of stock into this one. You go into Louisiana Tech and then you got Florida at home, man. I mean, if you can get out of September undefeated, then you really set yourself up nicely. Because to be real with you, I don't know if that Alabama offense can move the ball on your ass. I don't. They got their shit pushed in. So you just start feeling really confident about where you sit. A&M got in a dogfight today with an unimportant team. I didn't see what South Carolina did. Not going to act like I did. I'm sure Lenore Sellers went off. Maybe y'all could tell me. I don't know. But I didn't get to see that one. Nolan Strange with a $20 super chat says, we need to pay Blake Baker half of Brian Kelly's salary. Well, here's what I'm going to say about Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly put $1 million of his own money up. So I think Brian Kelly's done what he needs to do. But Blake Baker, I'll tell you this. Boy, Blake Baker seems like a potential head coaching candidate, huh? That's what I'd say. That's what I'd say. 1,000% looks like a head coaching candidate in waiting. No Depression with a $2 super chat says the wide receiver rotation was weird, to be honest. Hell yeah, it was weird. And that's why, with all due respect to Cortez, it's why Cortez got cursed out, right? I mean, it's why he got cursed out. So, yeah. Redwood with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. He says a new AYS member here, Josh Thompson, Peter Woods, 0 sacks, 0 hits, 0 pressures. Did the same thing to Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Talik Williams last season, all first rounders. When the lights are on, he kills it. Yeah, look, man, I thought that South Carolina didn't play today. To the super chat. I thought Josh Thompson, for what it's worth, had a very interesting camp. Guys, I will be real with you. I thought Josh Thompson had a very skeptical camp. Very skeptical. He just did not. I mean, Bernard Gooden was whipping that ass. I'm just going to be real with you. Tonight, guys, that interior defensive line didn't make a lot of plays for Clemson. You had some plays where you got some serious push, and I got to be real. I thought Caden Durham being 100% looked really good. Really, really good. Yeah. Yeah, it looked really, really good. You're right on Josh Thompson, though. I mean, when the lights turned on, he looked really good. He had some critical plays. But some very critical plays. Z Nagy 10 says, yep, LMFAO. Now, I don't know if this is the real Zach Nagy, but I'm assuming it is the real Zach Nagy. If it is the real Zach Nagy from Sports Illustrated, thumbs up if this is the real Zach Nagy. I think it is. He got them cheeks clapped. Let's just be real. Bernard Gooden was clapping them cheeks. And tonight, guys, Peter Woods didn't do shit. That defensive line didn't really do shit. I mean, they got some pressure on Garrett, but even when they did, Garrett handled it like he had been there before. I don't feel like Klubnik did. Right? I felt like I saw a quarterback in Garrett tonight that had just kind of been like, yeah, man, I've been here before. When Klubnik got under pressure, I felt like he still stayed a little chaotic. It was like, holy shit, holy shit. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, he panicked. Yeah, our good friend Zach Nagy over at Sports Illustrated. Y'all go give him a follow on social medias. Brandon Reese, thank you for being in here, Zach. Brandon Reese says, I'm impressed that we were able to rush for over 100 yards against a really good defense. See, here's the thing. Brandon, I'm glad you brought that up. People are going to say it's not a good defense now. Because they didn't get anything moving. BK said that he thought this offensive line was going to be fine. What we didn't know is that this defense, you know, for whatever it's worth, we didn't know that this defense was going to be that freaking good, right? All right, last one, then we're out of here. Christian Nielsen with a $5 super chat says, shout out to my boy Jacob Cheatwood for his bachelor party tonight. Well, shout out to him. Shout out to his bachelor party. Y'all go have some fun. Comedy says, we sick people for still being up. I'm a sick person. I'm a sick puppy for doing 2 shows and my internet going out and all this crazy shit. But I'm glad all of you stayed in here for as long as you did. All right. We'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.